But the thing is, it's not hard to create an ideal relationship. It's actually not that difficult, but men and women just speak different languages. And so what they find is essentially all men, the number one thing they seek in their partner is some accountability. They like to hear their partner say, it's not all your fault. And actually, I was wrong in that as well. I need to do better in this. And number one thing that women actually need from men is to accept influence. When she says, can we do this on the weekend? Or can you wear this? Or can we do that? Little yeses to little things make it easier for a man to keep control over the bigger things. So if you say yes to small things like, oh, can we eat at this place, or can we watch this, you'll probably retain more control over the bigger decisions, such as where you're going to live and so on and so forth. And it actually creates a more balance, because they're actually just looking for small and steady connection rather than big, huge gestures. It's really important to make sure that whoever you've chosen to fall in love with, you remain curious and you ask the right questions, and you make sure that you're falling in love with the true them. If you're not falling in love with the true them, you're falling in love with their mask, and they won't feel guilty if they let you down then, because you haven't, in their mind, they're going to see it as you haven't taken the time to get to know the real me. You don't love the real me, and therefore I don't feel like I'm truly hurting you because you don't even know who I am. So it creates a power imbalance when you fall in love with your imagination, because the person stops feeling guilty for hurting you. Truly high value is in ensuring that you give, not only do you have a lifestyle that is high value, but you also create an emotional connection that is high value. You create a sense of safety, loyalty, and trust that's also high value, hard to achieve. But if it's just like, oh, he's really rich, but she's cheating, he's cheating, it's a messy environment, what's high value about that? Who envies that? Even the good girl can turn bad if she's starved of attention from her man. If your man is pouring water into your cup on a daily basis, she can't see other men. She becomes blind to other men. But you know, when your man, you look beautiful, he doesn't say you look nice, or you don't make time for each other, he ignores you, no longer gives you attention. She's so starved in that moment that unfortunately all it takes is one man to give one bit of attention. She'll zoom in on the attention, forget all the other red flags in this man, and he'll become attractive to her because it's a feeling she's chasing, not a person. This is what high value men truly are. Your high value is determined by the level of woman you can get to submit to you. That's your value. The highest level of woman that you can get to submit to you. Now, if the highest level of woman you can get to kind of submit and look after and be loyal to you is a stripper, or is like they usually get a lot of OnlyFans models. That's the highest level of woman you can get to be loyal to you. You're not high value. But if you can get a woman who is up there, has plenty of options, and is inaccessible, highly loyal, if you can get that woman to submit to you, that's when you're high level. From the women's perspective is when she has a great partner who she can submit to, she can finally relax in life. When she has a partner that she respects, he makes great decisions, he's very protective, he's not stupid, like she can't manipulate him, she can't lie to him, she's forced to be a better person. And she can also relax a little bit. When she has kids, she knows that she can trust him with some of the decision making, and she doesn't have to be in this mode of where she's lying and hiding things. She can actually be her authentic self because she's chosen somebody who sees her for who she truly is and is chosen correctly. I always say it's so essential that the woman likes a man more than he likes her. Essential. And the reason I say that is when a woman likes a man more, because divorce is in her hands a bit more, men are relatively placid when it comes to relationships. They are relatively okay with monotony. They're okay if the relationship is not, overexciting, blah, blah, they'll get by with it. Women are not like that. If they don't feel loved, they don't feel consistency, they don't feel excitement, whatever, their emotions take over their judgment. So when a woman loves a man more than he loves her, I'm not saying that's ideal, but the relationship lasts a lot longer because she's willing to fight through the rough times. But when a man likes a woman more than she likes him, he becomes emasculated. He loses his masculinity to please her. He becomes a people pleaser. He'll bend over backwards, and in his desperate attempt to keep her, he loses the attraction even more so. No matter how self-sufficient and how masculine a man is, but when a woman takes care or predicts his needs before he says it, he can't help but melt. So if she knows he might be hungry and there's something ready, if she knows that he might be tired, there's a coffee ready, if she knows that he's got work in the morning, he's going to be in a rush, there's a shirt ironed, these kind of nurturing acts makes a man feel loved. And I don't think they realize it because they're so conditioned to not expect that from women anymore and see that as oppressive and see that as toxic. Third step is having a very clear vision. Now, what I mean by this is what you need to do is have a very clear vision of where you see yourself in 10, 15, 20 years. Now, most people imagine themselves in 10 years' time to be in a healthy relationship, hopefully with children and a family. That's where most people would imagine themselves in 10 years. Then you have to ask yourself, does your partner or your former partner, does that partner fit this particular vision? With the way that they are now, does this partner fit this vision? Now, if the answer is absolutely not, with the way that they are now, if we froze time and he was in my vision or she was in my vision in 10 years, would kill each other, or we would separate, or the kids would be a mess, then you've got to remind yourself of your vision. Every time you miss them, every time you want them, you've got to remind yourself that they are not going to bring you closer to your end goal. Women who are genuinely loyal, good women, they are incapable of being with men who are so busy. They need emotional connection daily and regularly in order for them to be loyal. So what happens is loyal women naturally can't attach to the man that doesn't know where he's going to, if he's going to be home on Christmas, is he going to be here or not in Thanksgiving. They attach to the man that says, okay, Wednesday we'll go to your mum's house and Friday we'll go here. They attach to that man because they need consistency. They need emotional consistency. Disloyal women will be distant. So they don't mind if you're going away, but she'll fill that void in some way, shape or form. Either through using your money and using it with luxury goods and think, oh, it doesn't matter, at least I get to go shopping. But after a while, how much can you buy? And then they form an attachment with the unemployed or a personal trainer who's available every day. I would imagine the glue is a duty to one another's well-being and the function of the marriage. I would imagine that the glue that keeps a relationship together is, even though we might have a rough year, a rough 5 years, a rough 10 years even, but your well-being matters to me and my well-being matters to you. And so therefore, making sure that we engage in a lifelong purpose of maintaining that, and the duty that we created towards one another when we made our vows is more important than how we're feeling right now. It's a bit like if you signed a 10-year contract with a basketball team. If you're a basketball player, you might hate it some months, you might love it some seasons, whatever it is, but you're committed to the purpose and the duty that the contract suggested. Treat women well, and I'll tell you why. When you treat women well, they become better human beings. When you see that broken woman that's horrible, horrendous, cruel, cheating, there's a man that's maybe her father, and what happens when men don't treat women well? We create a society of soulless women. We create a bunch of women who are just egotistical, narcissistic, they are hyper independent, they lose their kindness.